I'm Pam Wiznitzer, a mixologist and beverage professional who's been crafting drinks for nearly 20 years. Have you ever made a cocktail at the circus? Or perhaps at 30,000 feet in the air? Because I have, and I happen to have a master's degree in spirits. But here's the secret. To mix a great drink, you don't need any of that. I'll show you how to make the classics right at home, and then we'll give them a twist. And you never know who might stop by the bar. Stick with me and you'll be a bar whiz in no time. Do you drink espresso martinis?
Occasionally in the morning to combine with my coffee, yes.
That's the extra booster, right?
It is.
How many of them can you consume in a night before you're like, cut off, no more espresso martinis?
I'd say 3 or 4, and then I get very sad about the fact that I drink 3 or 4. But up
That's called a come down. How many espresso martinis can you have in a night?
2, and then I'm already like, I feel like the heart pound, the buzz a little bit from the espresso. I can't handle it, so yeah.
It's just generations for loco, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't need the espresso. That's a morning thing for me.
Yeah, some people like them in the morning.
Espresso martinis?
Yeah, we just talked to someone who liked it in the morning.
Oh, I'm way too old for morning drinking shit.
Everybody can agree that the espresso martini took the entire country by storm a few years ago. But a lot of people don't even know the origin story of this rev-you-up cocktail. It originates from London in the 1980s from a famous bartender named Dick Bradsell. He had a guest come to the bar and said, I want something that's gonna wake me up and f me up. Needless to say, he ran over to the espresso pole, put a little bit of vodka, some coffee liqueur, and next thing that you know, the genius espresso martini came to life. But let's see how we can make not only the classic variation, but a few others that are going to be great for your guests when you're entertaining at home. The classic espresso martini hinges on 4 ingredients and 4 ingredients only. A sweetener, some fresh espresso, your vodka, and a really high quality coffee liqueur. There's lots of variations and ways that we can make it, but using these 4 ingredients will guarantee you a perfect espresso martini, and here are some fun, easy little tips to make sure yours are perfect at home. Before you even start making your drink, let's pull that espresso. It's imperative, if possible, to use espresso because it has a different consistency, and the crema is going to give you that foam that you love so much on top of your drink. If you have an espresso maker at home, this is the perfect opportunity to use it. I'm using the Lavazza here, very easy to use at home, and it's gonna pull me my perfect shot of espresso with that perfect amount of crema on top. Take a look. We also wanna do this at the beginning because it's quite hot, and if you pour something hot into your cocktail when you're shaking, it's gonna melt that ice too much. So we like to pull it a little bit earlier so it cools down just enough so when it hits with the drink, we're not diluting everything. See that beautiful layer right here? That's gonna create the foam that we love so much on top of our espresso martini. We always like to start with the least expensive ingredient when we build our cocktails. That way we're not wasting the good stuff in case we mess up. So start with your sweetening source. A lot of recipes call for a simple syrup, but here we're using a demerara syrup. This is great. It has so much depth and flavor when it adds to your espresso martini. We added 8 ounces of hot water with 8 ounces of the sugar, mix it together, and voila, a demerara syrup. Half an ounce of this goes into the drink, and it's just the right amount of sweetness for your cocktail. The espresso should have calmed down a little bit by now, and we're ready to get a whole ounce of that into our drink. If you have caffeine sensitivity, go ahead and use a decaf espresso. 1 ounce into your shaker. Coffee liqueur. There are so many on the market. Right now we're gonna be using Mr. Black. I love this because it comes all the way from Australia, very high quality. You can find it in a lot of liquor stores, and it's absolutely delicious. 0.75 ounces, which will amplify and incorporate nicely with the amount of espresso that's in your drink. The main source of the buzz in your cocktail is not only the caffeine, but also the alcohol that goes in there. Vodka is what they originally called for. Some people do substitute with other alcohols, but I like to keep it with a really robust, really beautiful vodka. So I'm using 1.75 ounces of Belvedere in here, and that rye is gonna work really nicely incorporating with all the other ingredients. Grab yourself a martini glass or a coupe. I like something that's gonna be around 6 ounces, maybe 7 ounces, because you wanna leave a little bit extra room for the head that's gonna come on top of that drink. Here's a little trick with espresso martinis. You don't want to fill your shaker up with too much ice because you want a lot of extra room in the shaker to aerate the drink. You're going to seal your shaker, and this is where the magic happens. Yes. Do you smell that? I smell that. You may not be able to smell it, but I smell it. Oh my God, that's fantastic. Go ahead and grab your coupe, and it's time to strain out that espresso martini. Oh, perfection. The best part about the espresso martini is watching the separation happen, right? It's all the anticipation knowing that there's gonna be this beautiful foam at the top while your drink starts to separate down at the bottom. The classic garnish for an espresso martini are 3 beans, not 2, not 1. So I'm gonna place those on top. And when it is a perfect espresso martini, they float on top and you're ready to dive into this cocktail. That's really good. But let's whip up something a little bit different. If you love the espresso martini, but maybe you're looking for a stirred version with a little flair on top, you're going to love this variation for you to make at home. Your first step is to make the Dalgona topping. It's good to get this done at the beginning and then place it to the side when you want to make your drink. This is quite easy. It's only 3 ingredients, and we're always going to start with our dry ingredients first. We're going to start with 2 tablespoons of sugar. Next is the instant espresso. I kind of prefer this over instant coffee just because it goes with the espresso-based liqueurs. You're gonna need boiling hot water. This helps to melt everything before you even start to get the blender to it. We're gonna add 2 tablespoons of boiling hot water. And now we blend. You want to just dip enough that it sticks to your beater. Let's place this to the side and make our cocktail. The biggest difference between this version and the original is that we're not shaking anything. We're actually stirring this drink, and that's to ensure that we keep this velvety texture that we really want out of the cocktail. Like we always do, let's start with the least expensive ingredient. Here we're gonna start with a few cocoa bitters. Those notes are gonna really amplify the coffee and also some of the other things like the tequila and the Amaro. Just like the espresso martini, the original, we're gonna use coffee liqueur in this version as well. We got the things that you know, like Cafe Borghetti, and maybe something a little bit more local. So I've got the Goofy Bandit, which is a New York locally made coffee liqueur. This is a really great time where your dollar counts. Invest in something local, using 0.75 ounces of that into this drink. As mentioned before, this drink has a bit more bitterness and it's kind of a bit like a Negroni. So we're using an Amaro, a more enriched, darker Amaro. This one is date-based. This is Tomorrow, which comes from California, a new company that started making a more sustainable product. 0.75 ounces is gonna go in this drink and give it that little bit of edge and bite that we're really looking for. Typically, espresso martinis are made with vodka, but you can actually use lots of other spirits as the base of this drink because it goes so well with coffee. Tequila is fabulous in this instance, and we're using a reposado tequila in order to enhance the flavors of the coffee in this drink. Here we're using Quintaliza, and I love this because this is a reposado tequila that actually is rusted in barrels that have a bit of a coffee infusion, so it goes really great with this drink, and we're doing 1.5 ounces of that. As I mentioned at the beginning, this is a stirred cocktail. The difference between this and a regular espresso martini is that you shake an espresso martini, and here we have only alcoholic products within here, meaning we want to keep this beautiful consistency and texture. If we aerated it, we'd really disrupt that. So here, we're gonna stir it up with some ice. You're gonna stir this cocktail for about 10 to 15 seconds. What you're really looking for here is proper dilution levels and that chill factor on the side of the glass. Don't let up until you really feel it be cold on the sides, because we're gonna serve this straight up without any other ice or dilution afterwards. Yes, keep stirring. You can tell this drink is gonna be done when the sides of your glass have condensation on it and you can feel that it's nice and cold. You're gonna grab your coupe, and we're gonna strain that drink. It's imperative in this cocktail that you don't fill it to the top because of the next step. Leave a little bit of room. You literally wanna scoop this onto your drink. It's gonna be a little bit thick, but that's the fun of the game. You wanna layer on the Dalgona topping straight onto your cocktail. If you want this to be a bit more of a texture like an Irish coffee, you can whip it a little bit lighter so it's not as thick. But me personally, I love the aesthetics and the drama of the thick topping, especially when it's nice and cooled and you keep it in your refrigerator. Just look how fun that is. Definitely something your friends haven't seen before, but easy for you to make at home. And I think you're gonna like it as well. This is so cool. Using agave as the base, the green notes and the vegetable notes of the agave really pop. And I think it's also because the Amaro I use is date-based. So the sweetness of that with the greenness, and the coffee has so much berry. You get all those playing together with the texture of the Dalgona. I mean, this is just a flavor explosion going on in here, and I think all of you are gonna love this. But let's do it again with a twist. Now we're looking to level up our Espresso Martini game with this fizz variation that's so unbelievably delicious. I love using coffee for fizz variations because coffee already shakes up into oblivion, and a fizz will massively make it lengthen in the glass. It is so easy to make, and coffee and tonic is actually a really popular combination in other parts of the world. But here in America, we're not really catching on as much, but I think in this drink, you definitely will. Again, like always, we are gonna start with our least expensive ingredient. To give it a hint of sweetness, we're gonna add 0.25 ounces of a honey syrup. That's just equal parts of honey and water mixed together. If you want it a bit sweeter, feel free to up that to 0.5 ounces. Remember, getting that fresh espresso is so imperative for this drink. We pulled our Lavazza over here. Get any fresh espresso from home, or if you can get it from a store, that's also fantastic. 1 ounce of that is gonna go into our drink. I know what you're thinking. Passion fruit, coffee, Pam, what are you doing? I guarantee you this is a flavor combination that works. Something we don't remember about coffee is that it has a lot of fruit notes and a lot of tropical notes in it. And passion fruit is great because it gives a bit of that tart nature, and the passion fruit really works well with those fruit notes of the coffee. This is Chinola, which is a passion fruit liqueur. I really love it because it has the viscosity that I want and the flavor that I want as well, along with the quality. So we're gonna add 0.75 ounces of that into our shaker, and it's gonna add a bit of sour and a bit of sweet to the drink. So typically made with vodka. We also made it with tequila, but now we're gonna kick it up a notch and use aged rum, because aged rum works beautifully when it comes to coffee-related drinks. A brand that I like a lot and that I've been working with over the years is 10 To One Rum. I love it because it really takes in all the flavors of the Caribbean bottled into one of these beautiful glass bottles. We're gonna use 1.5 ounces of this into our drink, and it's really gonna bring together all of the other ingredients in the glass. Pro tip, I like to ice my tin and my glass at the same time. Reason being is right when I'm done shaking, I wanna be able to pour out what's in the contents here or build the rest of my drink and not have to wait between the time of putting new ice into the glass. So I'm gonna ice my shaker and ice the glass. Let's shake. Yes! As promised, this is a fizz, meaning we need some bubbles. You might think soda water, but actually, coffee and tonic is a fantastic flavor combination. So we're gonna use about 1 ounce, and I like to put it into the drink before I pour my cocktail on top of it. Let's pour the rest of the drink over the bubbles and see what happens. Yes! Just like the Espresso Martini we had before, this is gonna take a second to separate. But the fizziness from the tonic is going to play within the coffee in order to create a higher fizz level, which is gonna be so incredible when you take sips of it and you just get all of that texture in your mouth. Our fizz is almost complete, just a little bit of garnish. I like to use some instant espresso or instant coffee at the top just to give a little dusting on there. And that's gonna be your Espresso Martini fizz. Drink up. This is so fun. And I love this because it's actually a lot drier than the drink sounds like. And you get the tropical notes from the passion fruit, those fruit notes from the coffee notes, like the cherry and the dried notes that just come to the forefront. And the crema on top, the foam, the fizz action is so delicate. It feels like a light drink, even though it actually technically is a long drink because it's a fizz. This is so great for summertime. You're gonna have friends out in the barbecue in the backyard. Like, this is something you would absolutely love to serve up to everybody. It's never fun to drink alone. Oh, look, It's Grammy Award-winning singer, songwriter, entrepreneur, philanthropist, and co-owner of Ten To One Rum, Ciara, and founder of Ten To One Rum, Marc-Kwesi Farrell.
What's happening?
Hi.
Hi, Dan.
Hi. Welcome. Cheers.
Cheers.
Yes.
Good to see you.
Good to see you both. Welcome.
Salud.
I'm excited to share this drink with you.
Likewise.
Look,
Wow.
pick me up.
This is fancy. This is funky, actually.
We're only here for fancy stuff. Only the best for two of you.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you taste a lot of cocktails, both of you, because you're definitely out with Ten To One Rum. So you've seen a lot of things out there.
Yeah.
How is it? How is it drinking your own product out in the market?
Oh, it's amazing. You know, the taste never gets old. But it's exciting, I think, you know, to know that we can look at this bottle and say, we're a part of that. That's a part of us, and it's something we're really proud of. It's a good feeling. I feel like a boss.
You are a boss. We all know you're a boss. But it's nice to know that this validates that, you know?
It's a good feeling.
That's how she finally knew, you know? She finally knew, yeah.
And like, Mark, listen, like, this is your baby. You launched this in May of 2019, and it's super impressive. It's right before the pandemic, right? You have like a chemical engineering background mixed with being one of the youngest VPs at Starbucks doing product innovation. Like, you know beverage. And you're like, let's go rum. Why? Why rum?
Yeah, because, you know, the biggest learning from all those experiences was you want to bring all of this back home. You know, go back to a place that is familiar to you. Rum is quite literally born out of the soil where we're from in the Caribbean. And so this to me is an exercise in trying to, you know, elevate, celebrate, put something on a global stage that deserves a little bit more recognition and attention.
Can you tell everyone a little bit about the name 10 to 1? What does it mean? Where does it come from? Why is it so, has so much intention. It's so important.
We like to, you know, everything about this brand is super intentional. And that starts with the name, right? The name in a way is kind of the unlock for everything else that is 10 to 1. The name was inspired by the original Caribbean Federation, which consisted of 10 countries, right? So this idea of 10 becoming 1. And Trinidad's prime minister at the time had famously said, 1 from 10 leaves 0. If you remove 1 from the collective, the whole thing falls apart. So it's a brand that's based on this idea of community, strength in numbers. We're all stronger together than we are apart.
Stronger together.
That's
I feel like your brand also has gone stronger over the years. I got to taste it in 2019. I was blown away. You remember that. And then it did get stronger in numbers because a woman who is so busy, you are literally incredible. Like, you are producing so much. You are singing, you're performing, you are on tour, you are a philanthropist, and you're like, no, this is great. Like, what struck a chord? Like, why you want to get in the game of alcohol?
Yeah, well, I've always been a rum lover. So the first time I got a chance to have my first spirit of any kind, it was rum. So since day one, I've had a strong love and liking for it. And to be honest, it was always my go-to. So we were in the thick of the pandemic, and I had breastfed my son Wynn 10 months long enough. And we had a mutual friend that was also getting in the mix with Mark and 10 to 1, a guy named Larry Estrada who works at Goldman Sachs. He happened to share with me 10 to 1. And the first drink I had to celebrate breastfeeding my son for 10 months long was 10 to 1. And I had it in the form of a mojito.
No way.
And so it was very serendipitous. The timing was really, really awesome. I fell in love with 10 to 1 right away. The spirit was just outstanding. And I really always want to, you know, give a lot of love to Mark on how he beautifully crafted the product, because it always starts there.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so, you know, what's amazing about 10 to 1 is that I also love how you can flex it in many ways. Like the rumarita. The margarita will never be the same once you try it with 10 to 1 rum.
Rumarita with the aged rum is lights out.
See what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, like I know, there were just so many amazing touch points that were authentic to me, which matters most.
And I feel like that's really inspiring in a day and age where it feels like celebrities are attaching themselves to liquor brands or starting them, to hear that you literally tasted something and you're like, I gotta be part. This is amazing. And it's a credit to what you have literally crafted here, because if you haven't tasted it, this is unbelievable rum. It's the reason why we use it in this cocktail.
So good. Yeah, but you know what's also amazing, Pam, is if you look at the category, when you talk about people like myself, celebrities, in the category of rum, it's a very small bunch of us. And so you also think about being a woman in this category. The list gets even smaller.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I think there's so much opportunity to tell a story, to share the great story of rum. You know, we talk about the back end side of it. You look at the data, it's next in line to really like go to the moon in the way that it should, you know, and it's really more so to me about people educating themselves on like how great rum is.
I think rum is really interesting because we all know, like, I love a mojito. Like, there's nothing like a mojito. I love mixing rum, actually in my old fashions, right? It's like one of my preferred vehicles for an old fashions with rum. I think something, especially in sharing initially with you, Mark, was how profound you started to, like, talking about it and making rum more accessible to the public. Like, you brought it back to like what it really is about. It's just a great spirit to drink. Like, how has that messaging been spreading? How are you bringing that to the masses, especially as we know agave is growing, but it's incredible the way people are sipping this rum in particular is very different than other rums.
Yeah, 100%. I think that, you know, one of the things we've been most encouraged to see is the kinds of places and spaces that Ten To One has found a home in, right? So Ten To One is not just a rum that's stuck in the everyday rum bar. You find it in Michelin star restaurants, craft cocktail spots, your local neighborhood spots, etc. The versatility is always a calling card. So, you know, the number of people that come up to me or come up to C and say like, yo, I never knew that rum could do X, right? They kind of had it pigeonholed in one specific set of occasions, the one time they were in the Caribbean, the one cocktail that they know, but this keeps on opening their eyes to different serves, different applications, different occasions, right? And so it's a big part of our crusade and our mission to make sure people can fully understand and realize that. The tequila drinker is very well educated now, right? They know exactly what they're going to do with it, where and when they're going to drink it. Building some of that energy around rum, and specifically Ten To One, has been a big part of what we've been doing.
It's incredible. I mean, I'm a longtime drinker, consumer. I know what rum can do. We're gonna head over to the sleigh tray is what we call it.
Okay.
Feel free to have some snacks. Real fast question though. Favorite rum cocktail, real fast.
Daiquiri, classic daiquiri.
Rum old fashioned.
Great. Favorite cocktail that's not a rum cocktail to put 10 to 1 in.
Romarita.
Ooh, white Negroni.
Nice. But if you're down for it, we have some fun questions in here. We'll run through it, sound good?
I'm totally down.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
like this kind of stuff.
I know, let's get in. I have no idea what's on here, which is the fun part.
What's on that?
Yes.
Paper.
What's a beauty or wellness product you can't live without?
Well,
That's for you.
my
No, it's
OEM,
for both of you.
my OEM skincare line. I'm obsessed. I've sold out of a lot of SKUs, only have 2 more left, and I'm holding on for dear life because, you know, we're a small company and we're just sorting through all those growing pains, but I love my skincare line, OEM Skin.
Amazing. And putting out the good vibes for growing and more SKUs.
More SKUs.
And you have the same favorite product.
100%. I'm on the waiting list trying to get the re-up, you know. So we know what my favorite is.
So call over a friend and see if you can get that promo box.
Exactly.
Right?
I'm like, yo, C's not answering the phone. I don't know what's up.
So weird. It's so weird.
So funny.
I love it. All right. Obsessed espresso. What's something you're currently a little obsessed with?
You know, I'm liking this Love Island show.
Everyone's into it. Like popped out of nowhere.
It's really funny. Like, it's honestly really entertaining.
And what about you? What are you obsessed with?
I did a little binge of Mobland recently, which I loved.
Oh, I want to see that.
Yeah, it's super dope. It's
wanna
really,
see
really
that.
good. Yeah. I just kind of sat down, committed myself to it on a weekend, and we just knocked it out.
Less espresso. What's something you feel particularly grateful for right now?
Oh my gosh. I feel so thankful that I get to wake up every day living my dream, doing exactly what I've dreamt of doing. That is like the best feeling in the world. Like I don't have to second guess it. I'm not confused. I'm not, you know, searching in that world, you know. I feel so blessed that I'm doing exactly what I want to do.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It really is amazing.
Yeah, it's a good feeling.
Yeah. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, similar honesty. I think like culture and community are the words that come to mind, right? Like it's so awesome to be able to build a brand, you know, that's again tied to your culture, tied to your sense of self, and to have a chance to share that with people, right? We're building community as we go along, and yeah, there's nothing more gratifying than that.
Absolutely. I'd say it's feeling blessed is being able to share experiences like this.
Absolutely.
I think meeting cool people, I always say a drink is just a vehicle to have a shared experience.
Yeah.
And like it's dynamics like this that I think about every day. I'm like, we're so blessed.
Yeah.
You're so blessed.
So blessed.
All right, last one. Okay, make
Last
it
one, best one.
Dress espresso. What's a favorite outfit or look that makes you feel confident?
I'm a tomboy, so I do like wearing like oversized clothing. I just like the comfort of that.
Yeah.
I love the flyness of that. I love when us girls can like flip it and, you know, yes, it's nice to wear like more fitting and, you know.
I call it versatility.
Yeah, you know, it's fun to wear that more sexy kind of stuff, but I also like when you can still be fly and sexy and oversized gear. So
Women, we can do it all, right?
yeah, why
it.
not? We're not limited.
Not us. What about you?
I love the versatility in the range as well. Love to mix it up. But if I think about my wardrobe, like most of my statement pieces are jackets. So I love like a dope bomber. I have like some cool satin and silk ones, different colors, just can complete the look.
You also go to a lot of weddings, so I've seen all your like blazers too.
I do have a few different tuxes. Yeah.
Before we head out, I just want to talk a teeny bit about your new album. As someone who's been listening to music for decades, no joke, it's so exciting to see an artist, just their progression and putting out new music, new sounds. What does this album mean to you? Like, how was,
Yeah,
how was
this
that
album
process?
is my 8th album, and it's called CiCi. That's my nickname that my fans have called me over the years, and also my family, they'd be like, look at little CiCi dancing. It was always a thing for me, and I think there's a very personal feeling that comes with when I hear my fans say my name. But I've been doing this is my second independent album, independent release, and so it's quite a journey. I'm like, it is not for the weak, but it's an exciting time. And I also have to shout out my fans because my song How We Roll, which started on the original EP of CiCi, is now very close to becoming platinum. So I'm excited for this.
I think there's a cheers to that, right?
There's a salute.
The salute.
But yeah, CiCi album, August 22nd is the big day. And I'm so pumped for the fans to get this project and to hopefully have the time of their lives like I had the time of my life making it.
We have now done the Espresso Martini 3 ways, but if there's a cocktail that you're learning how to make next, drop a comment below and we may just shake it up next time. And I'd like to end with a little toast, if that's okay.
Of course.
So may all of your drinks be automatic, supersonic, hypnotic, and funky
Fresh. We drinks to that.
Thank you so much for coming in. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Mark.
Anytime.
Yes, and drink well.